So when this came out, people didn't like it. They're like, hey, what are you guys doing? You can't put the engine in the front. That's like every other car company. But this was their like entry-level car to get people into the Porsche family. A still German refined vehicle, but not as luxurious as you would see in the 911 series. But there's nothing here where you're like thinking this thing is cheap by any means.
Yeah, for how old this is, it feels pretty good.
Now for some context, the Porsche 924 was originally conceived by Volkswagen, but VW got cold feet about the project after the 1973 oil crisis and eventually sold the rights back to Porsche. The car was a big financial success, but was criticized for being a Volkswagen parts bin car, which you can kind of see in some of the interior stylings and in the suspension. And while it might be a parts bin special, it doesn't mean that this thing isn't a blast to drive. I've never driven one. Today's the first day. This thing is fun.
It's not bad.
I would call this Miata-esque. It doesn't give you that same cramped feel, but it still gives you that like tight, low to the ground handling, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's got about 160 horsepower, and it had a 0 to 60 of about 8 seconds, which that's no slouch in the 80s.